Hello everyone, Sylvan Bell coming to you live from San Francisco, California. I'm on Treasure Island. It's 8:25 in the morning, December 6, 2015. We're talking about your sales process and the advanced things that you need to know. And one of the things that you have to be aware of is your competition is ripping the good parts of your information off. They're ripping the high level of your processes off. And just know it's going to happen over time, but what you need to know is your sales process needs to develop and change because of it. Now, I do a lot of work in home services, and there was a company and they had a really good sales process, and people would go and they would watch them and they would make calls and say, hey, come out and give me the presentation. And they weren't there to buy, they were there to rip off the good parts of the presentation and say, oh, that guy is doing this really well and giving this example really well, and I'm going to take it and I'm going to take all this information that he's using and then I'm going to put it in my presentation. And over time, the problem was everybody started sounding the same because this company went and watched them, and this company went and watched them, and this company went and watched them, and they started taking all the good stuff from the good company and putting in their own presentation. The other thing that came of it was the second thing is the people would watch the presentation and then they would take like all the good from it and then they would create like the obstacle for the buyer. So they would say, oh, this guy says this, now I know how to fight it. Now I know what I need to do to go against it, and I'm gonna create like a smoke screen. So the good company would go in and they would start their sales process, and the company who had been there in front of them knew what they were going to say, so they had like all these objections pre-built into their presentation. So just know that if you're doing sales, eventually you're really good at what you do, you're going to get ripped off. Like me, I get ripped off a lot as a sales trainer. There's a couple of guys that I know that take my stuff and they take it and then they pretend that it's their own, and it's not, right? So just know that if you're good at what you do, you're going to get ripped off, and you have to know this because you're going to have to deal with objections that you didn't have to deal with before. You're going to have to deal with changing your presentation over time because there's going to be people who are trying to take your presentation and use all the good elements from it. And these things have to be known over time. In the long run, you have to know them. And then you have to be prepared and figure out what you're going to do to beat them, okay? Now, if you could do a small favor for me in the box down below, leave a comment, question, or story, that'd be fantastic. To the right or to the left, there's a subscribe button. Subscribe, and then send it out to all your friends via StumbleUpon, Facebook, Twitter, Google+. Why not even LinkedIn? Sylvan Bell. Only Scott Bell. We'll see you soon. Thanks for watching. Aloha.